Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker is said to have many different surprises in this film by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, by far, one of the biggest mysteries in the Star Wars sequel trilogy has got to be Rey's lineage, and especially exactly who her parents really are, and how that was kept a big secret in The Force Awakens, and even in The Last Jedi, even though Kylo Ren did in fact explain that they were nobody. That's going to be further explained in Star Wars Episode 9, as confirmed by director and writer J.J. Abrams. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it comes down all to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very intriguing for the character of Rey and Rey's father, and a new name for that character in Episode 9. Now, specifically, a description of Rey heading into an abandoned structure that is described to be the home of her father, where it's described that the structure is built into a large canyon on a desert world, and is said to be a very important place for Rey's personal mission in the second act of the movie. It's described that as Rey enters the building, she discovers many belongings to her father, many of which consist of Jedi and Sith relics. Eventually, it's said that Rey discovers a flag that was once used for the Church of the Force, where each member of the Church of the Force was referred to as something special under a certain name. The flag of Rey's father of the Church of the Force is said to refer to him as the Protector. It's described that he protected many of their discoveries of Jedi and Sith lore, as well as relics that were handed down by Jedi Master Luke Skywalker, and even stole Sith relics from the Jakku Observatory that belonged to Emperor Palpatine. It said that the remnants of the Empire during the First Order infancy also referred to Rey's father as the Keeper, since he gathered important lore including weapons, clothing, books, maps, tools, and even locations of certain star systems that held Force-sensitive species that were tipped by Luke Skywalker. So I really want to go over quite a number of parts about this, because this really does speak volumes to me of what JJ is trying to do with Rey's father and make him a whole lot more special than what he's made out to be in, of course, The Last Jedi. Now, in The Last Jedi, it was said by Kylo Ren in his dialogue, of course, that they were just junk traders that traded off for drinking money, and that he is in a grave on Jakku in some desert. Now, to me, that sounds like Kylo Ren was making her father out to be a very bad person, where JJ is actually now exploring more of the backstory of Rey's parents, and is telling a whole other side to, Rey's father, Rey's mother, you name it, and even Rey's family. So what's really great about Episode 9 so far is Rey's father is actually referred to as two different names, both within the Church of the Force and, of course, within the remnants of the Empire during the infancy of the First Order. So within the Church of the Force, it turns out that each member has their own flag that was actually used in order to represent exactly what their specialty really is and what they are actually seen as. And he was actually called the Protector during the days of the Church of the Force when it was still alive and well. And also, within the remnants of the Empire during the infancy of the First Order, he was referred to as the Keeper. Now, both of which pretty much are the same, because they're referring to how he stole a lot of Jedi and Sith lore, or should I say stole Sith lore and protected Jedi lore. Now, the great thing about all of this, though, is that there is some tie-in to the character of Luke Skywalker, since a lot of the Jedi relics that he protected inside of his home is actually said to be handed down by the character of Luke in between the events of the sequels and the originals by Luke. So Rey's father having a nice tie-in to the Church of the Force with Lor San Tekka and Luke Skywalker, it really seems like that JJ, yes, maybe her parents are not related to that Skywalker bloodline, but JJ is trying to really tie it into the Skywalker bloodline, have those characters somewhat connected. Now, like I say, I still believe that Rey's parents are not her blood parents. I'm going to go out, on that big guess right now that they are not her blood parents per se, but are going to be referred to as her parents in Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, and then one of the big revelations will be that they are not her parents by blood. I can actually really see that if they really wanted to make Rey a very important figure in this movie. She could be a creation, or B, maybe her step-parents actually found her, and she never got to meet her blood parents, and maybe her blood parents were very special for all we know. So I think with JJ, since he did confirm a couple of weeks ago during Star Wars Celebration that there is a lot more to the story about Rey's parents that will be told in episode 9, which is great, you know, because even John Williams said this during one of his podcast interviews, where he said, I think that there's way more to the story than Rey's parents being nobody, and I think that he's right? This basically speaks volumes right here of how he was a member of the Church of the Force. He was even protecting Jedi lore that was handed down by Luke Skywalker to the Church of the Force, and was also referred to as the Keeper and the Protector from within the remnants of the Empire, the infancy of the First Order, if you will, as well as the Church of the Force. So with that being said, guys, Rey's father, you know, we do know that we went over the name a couple of months ago, him being referred to as Vidar, V-I-D-A-R, very interesting name for sure, but we do know this, is that we also know that Rey goes on this big personal mission in the second act of the movie on a desert world, as well as another planet in episode 9. So, like I say, guys, let me know what you think about all this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.